We've been coming to our time in the limelight. We've been winning for a minute, but it ain't right. Double take the page on my timeline. Your boyfriend plays games, he's a low life. You know that with me it's only highlights. Just know that for now the time's right. Girl, for you got time to waste. Do what it takes to win this race. These girls, they got nothing on you. I prove myself, that's what I do.
Sometimes it's a bit conflicting on the art itself.
Yeah.
Because you might be someone, you might want to get feedback from someone who actually pays attention to what you're doing. And you can't get that. You know what I mean? You get that interaction, you can't get that interaction with someone who's passionate about the music. You just get this, oh, you're great.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
It gets boring after.
Yeah. And I don't even know if that's something that's ever, is that something you've ever came across?
I don't think it's ever been a thing of like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Or like, well, not at this stage yet anyway. So I don't think, but like I've seen it happen where it's like a thing of like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that.
Yeah.
I think like my management are quite free with everything that I do, and they give me like a lot of.
What's that like though, man? To be in an environment where you are free to be able to do what it is that you love, and also not be conflicted in giving ideas into how you want to shape. You know, like the outcome of what's to come next.
Yeah, like it's I don't know, because like it's been like the last year that like I left my job last year to like fully do music and just took the leap and to just make music every day and just write songs. And like it's probably been like the best year that I've ever had. And, like I felt so free, and like as soon as I left my job and quit my job, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. So I kind of felt like I could just be who I wanted to be and just write the songs I wanted to. Because when I was working a job and I was working weekends and I was in uni, it was more of a thing of like I'm saying, oh, I'm not inspired, I ain't got nothing to write about, when really it was just more of a thing of like I was so preoccupied with the job and with university that I couldn't get my creativity out.
That's so interesting, man, because like you just said then, people are in a position where you've got to work every day and you're doing the norm, but you say that you're not able to express what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't get that creative edge out, but sometimes you blame it on the fact that you've got to work, you've got to do this, but really it may be just the environment as a whole.
That you're in.
Once you get out of that environment, you feel like the creative juices just start to flow then.
I think as soon as I left my job, I remember the week before I quit my job, I went down to London to go and work with one of the guys who worked on my latest project. His name's AV. And he worked with like Frank Ocean, Nick Jonas, all these big people.
My God!
Like went down to London, had this one session. I remember like I'd written this song before we went. We were in the session and he goes, I want you to come out to LA in like the third week in June. And I think at that moment, I was just like, wow, I didn't realise like what was kind of going on. Because like obviously I look up to like Frank Ocean and like as like he's like up here for me. He's like probably like one of my biggest inspirations of like my music. So like when he said that he wanted me to come out and work with him, I was like, wow. And then I remember getting back from London, speaking to my mum, speaking to my dad and my manager and saying like, I'm just going to quit my job. Just went in, handed my notice in, and then like 2 weeks later, I was flying out to LA, and it was just like...
Hey, that's like stuff that dreams are made of. You can't really write that, can you?
Yeah, it was mind-boggling. And then like when we got out to LA, ended up working with another guy called Sir Dylan, and he'd just come off working off the back of the Weeknd's Starboy album.
Wow, that was a huge album as well. You're talking millions being sold there.
And he worked on Solange's album, her latest one. And he did Logic's project as well. He worked on Logic's
Oh my God! So already there you've got a producer who's it's quite diverse already. You know what I mean? You're talking about neo soul, then talking about smooth R&B, and then you're even talking about the hip hop elements there. So what was that like for you, being? Because you're an artist of, I I was thinking this last night. You know, when you do your research on an artist and you go, okay, they do this, they do that. They're a singer-songwriter, R&B, hip-hop. But with you, I find it difficult. I don't like to pigeonhole anyone, but I find it difficult to try and assign what it is, a genre to you.
Like, I'd say it's more experimental. Experimental R&B. That's wrong.
I know, it was a little bit there.
Yeah, I'd say my stuff's more experimental R&B. Because like growing up, I had like a lot of inspiration from like Red Hot Chili Peppers, like 1975, like cool indie bands. So I've always tried to find ways to kind of like put that into my music, whether it be like a cool like guitar lick or I don't know, like a different groove, like a drum pattern or whatever. So it's like,
Say for you as an artist, has it been difficult being in Liverpool where it's mainly indie and rock and roll driven, like the scene here in Liverpool?
I think that when I was first starting out, because like I was very like smooth R&B when I first started out. I remember I put out my first EP when I was like 15, called 24/7, and that was very just R&B driven. So when it came to like playing shows, I remember like a lot of the artists or a lot of the bands, they all had a guitar, and I could kind of play, but I wasn't the best. And I remember like my manager saying to me like he wanted me to really like hone in on my craft and just get good at guitar to be able to just go out and just be able to just back myself. And I think that being able to do that helped me so much because I gained support from like the likes of Get Into This, Bido Lito, Lymph Academy, like all those things. And so I think that like even though a lot of the indie bands, they all play guitar and they're all very this and that, I feel like if you kind of want to stand out and you want to be able to be a part of that, you kind of have to just like hone in on your craft and work at it.
So if anything, that's helped you progress.
Yeah, I think
as an artist.
Yeah, I definitely think it's helped me.
I always thought I didn't know if it was I didn't know if it was difficult or not, because I think it's hard for people who do, if it's what you said, experimental or something which is out of the norm anyway, from what the people in the city are used to. I find that there's some artists who it's easy for them to give up. That's what I'm trying to say.
I definitely think that like it's a growing scene though within Liverpool now, and it's like I think with all the outlets that are within the city, it's a lot easier to kind of be able to do that.
What was it like working with the Lymph Academy? How important has that been
to you? It's been amazing. Like I was a part of the Lymph Academy from like the first year. I think it was like 2013. So like I've really seen it like flourishing and grow to what it's become now. Yeah. So it's it's been really helpful towards my career, especially like getting advice from like people within the industry and being able to play the shows and the showcases.
I think it's great the way you can do that, them showcases. I think that is important to new artists coming up. Is it, who else? You've got Mary Miller, another one. She's just really outside of the box in terms of making music. But you see where she works, and it's all based in Liverpool. It's all homegrown here, isn't it? And that really, I think there's something buzzing about that. Yeah. And then you've seen yourself kind of take another Suburban View's just a completely different, I think it's like strain to your bow. What was it like coming up with that whole concept?
I remember like the first like few records that I wrote for like that project, and like only one of them kind of made the cut. Cause like I remember like we put the we've been working on Suburban View for like a good 3 years or so, and I remember we thought we had the final project, which was like this time last year, and then when it was actually April last year, we thought we had the final project, and then I remember when I went out to LA and we came back with like 5 songs. There was 2 records on there that just really stood out, which was Take a Picture and Tina Normal.
Yeah, Take a Picture.
And it was we just couldn't save them for so long. We kind of just had to just put them on the project, and then when we did that, there were just a couple of the songs that had to be moved around. So then I wrote Range Rover, I wrote We See, and then Looks Can't Fool Me was the only record that kind of made it off the original project. And obviously I wrote Summer as well. So yeah, it was a really stressful time, but it was also really enjoyable because I learned so much about myself, and like being able to kind of write the songs to go with like the story was just really enjoyable.
Oh, so the songs were being born of what was happening.
Yeah. So like a lot of the songs, all the songs on the project, they're all things that have like either happened to me or like people around me. So it's like, it's it takes a lot. It takes a lot out of me, but it's like it's really enjoyable.
I was going to ask you that. What's it like writing for you then? Are you someone? Do you need to write solely on your own, or are you someone that needs? Do you need to collaborate with someone? How do you get the best out of your songwriting ability?
See, I'm a really weird writer because like all the four of the songs that I did in LA last year were all written by me on my own in my living room with just my guitar.
Yeah.
And then the one record that I wrote with a co-writer in the room was Take a Picture, and that was probably the most enjoyable experience I've ever had, I think, writing a record, because like there was just so many ideas just bouncing in the room at once that it was just so easy to write the song. I think we ended up writing the song in like an hour.
Serious?
We wrote the song in like an hour, yeah. The guy who I worked with, Torrey, who helped co-write it, and then AB and Sir Dylan, who were like working on production and whatnot, was just like, it's kind of just like everyone was just in the zone to just like get shit.
You'd have them moments, don't you? You'd hear about many like singer-songwriters, they go, oh, I had that. It's like the Einstein thing, it's just something happens, it all clicks together, and then before you know it, you've got this song where you're like, do you think that could happen again? Or is that one of them moments where...
it has happened again.
Oh, sweet.
So like the last time, I recently just got back from LA, I was out the end of May through to June, and in with AB and Sir Dylan again, and Jake came through to the studio, and the same thing happened. We wrote another one. We got another one. So like that's coming soon. And then there's another record that like I wrote in the room, which I think I'm super proud of and super excited to be released, because it's probably like one of my favorite ones. I think so yeah, it's an exciting time. It's cool, but a lot of the songs I write with just me and my guitar. And then obviously I work with like the likes of Sam Volo. So me and Sam made Hype Like Supreme last year, and I remember it was a super weird. I was in like a weird mood. I was just like, I want to write a record. Sam was like, just come through to the studio, and I remember like we just sat in the studio, and then he came up with like this crazy bass line, dun, 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 dun. And it was just like from then that we just started like top lining the record, and it was just like, that was probably a really enjoyable moment. So I think I write really well with people, and I also write really well on my own, like with just my guitar. So
when you say that, it sounds like when you said you'd have the most enjoyment when you're with people, can it be a little bit, when you're writing on your own, are you a bit of a recluse in that sense, or is it a bit more focused where you're like, right, I want to do this, but I need to write this song, I need this element and this element, and are you that type of person?
I think when I write on my own, I'm very much a recluse. Like I just have to close all the doors in the living room. I'm really weird because I have the TV switched on, but it'll be muted, and it'll just be like my guitar and my laptop and like my iPhone for voice notes. So like usually I'll have like this one like melody that'll be like in my voice notes that'll just like spark an idea for me to write a song, and then I'll figure out the chord arrangement and then go from there. But recently I've been trying to like write songs from like having the idea of what I want to write about and then doing it that way. instead of just writing what I feel.
Like the spontaneity of it all.
Yeah. Instead of just So yeah, I love. I'm really social, so I love being with people.
Yeah.
So I think in a studio environment with like loads of people, I think I just do really well.
Yeah, it just flows, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just flows really well.
Is it better for you? Because I've been to America. Is there something about when you go to America that it just sparks a light? There's just something about the place. I find it hard to explain because people think, oh, you go to LA and you're writing songs in LA, but obviously there must be something there for the reason why you go back. There must be something.
It's just a completely different environment, and I think like with a lot of with the scenes that are there, it's just it's really inspiring. Like I'm a huge fan of like streetwear and just like street art and just like that kind of culture. So like going to LA and like actually seeing like the Supreme LA store in person, being able to like walk in, like going to the hundreds and all these stores. It's really inspiring, and like I spent too much money. Like the last time I went out, too much money. So it's like, but yeah, Teen No More was definitely like a record that like I wrote about that kind of like situation of like the fear of like growing up and going to a place that like you've never been before.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the inspiration behind like that record, and having to like accept responsibility for like everything that you do. So it's like
that's quite deep, man.
Yeah.
That's
so
quite.
That was because I remember when I wrote the record, I was 19, about to turn 20, like the month after I wrote it. So yeah, I think I just left my job at that time, so I was kind of just like, wow, like I really need to just like put all my eggs in one basket and just like kind of just really push this music thing, and then if it fails, at least I know that like I tried.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the inspiration behind it. Yeah.
What's the decision though? Say when you're going home and you go and speak to your parents and you've already made up this.
Yeah.
You've already made up your mind like, right, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to do the folk music thing. Is there any conflict at home when making that decision?
No, there wasn't any like arguments about it all. I think over the few months I was kind of just like hinting at the fact that I wanted to leave. I just wasn't happy, and it wasn't making me happy. And I think my parents just respected my decision that like if you're not happy and you don't want to do that anymore, then you fully support whatever it is that you want to do. You just kind of just go for it.
Because man, sometimes it can be, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Were your parents, were they musicians or anything?
Yeah, so my dad was like a rapper back in the day. Like,
really?
Yeah, a few years ago, yeah. He rapped on my first EP. Yeah.
I've not heard this one.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I need to take this out. This online.
Yeah, you should be able to get it on iTunes, I think.
Right.
And then my mum was like really creative. She was like really into art and stuff. She used to be like an art teacher, and she's really like big into like making clothes and like all those kinds of things. So I think growing up, I was always just like inspired by like art.
I think that makes so much sense because you are someone you follow. You like your fashion. You seem to follow. I used to see it a lot. You're always trendy, and I think you have a great way of blending the two, like the music and the art, and it seems to find its own. Yeah. It's got its own little.
That was like one of the main things that we were kind of like aiming for, was to kind of like infuse like streetwear and those kinds of things in my music, and I think that was like the main kind of inspiration behind Hype Like Supreme, because I kind of wanted to write a song about like. I want to write like a love song, but not like your classic love song where it's just like, oh my god, I love you, like I need this, da da da. In a way, like everyone was so hyped about this girl, like the way everyone hypes about like a release for Supreme.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like, because like I know that like on a Thursday morning, I'm awake, sat on my phone at like 10:59, ready to go to try and buy whatever it is that. Like,
I've been in London and seen like the whole like Crazy and Gully and all them like the legends, you know what I mean?
Like there's been times where like I've gone to London like the night before, not even known, had like a rough idea what was dropping, and like we just waited out like overnight until the store opened and queued up for like 4 or 5 hours just to get in, just get like a Box Logo hoodie. So it's like people go crazy for, for these things. It's like it's stupid. It's cool.
It's a part of what it is now, isn't it? Yeah. But I like the way when you blend. Yeah, you're very good at just blending those elements together, and I think you see something a bit more. We see more of you as an artist.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But do you believe that sometimes there's people who take the fashion elements and you can push the fashion elements all day long, but the music then takes a backseat?
Yeah.
I think there's like a thin line between embracing something and then it just becoming overpowering, and it lessens the other. If that makes sense. Or
Yeah and no. Like I'm trying to think of like artists who've like kind of pushed both and done really well.
Well, I look at Kanye. He's a great example.
You look at Kanye,
them and I'm like,
with like his Yeezy line.
Yeah.
And then like with his collaboration with Adidas, and then like with his last album.
I know, well, he done 7 albums and bloody produced 7, didn't he? And
you can't really like, you can't hate on the grind.
No, definitely not. But I just, sometimes when I just think, can it be conflicting for an artist? You know, you have so much going on. Yeah. How do you find the balance to between?
I think that it can definitely be conflicting, but it all depends on how you deal with how you manage your time. Yeah. And I think Kanye's done it really, really well.
Yeah. I just don't like the whole scene, but when I always believe it's not until you go there
that you can kind of judge.
Yeah.
And like I always wanted to. From like a young age, I always wanted to go to LA, and I remember, I think it was when I was like 17. I was saying to my dad, I was like, Dad, can we go to LA? Like, I just want to go. Like, because like I was so big into streetwear, and all these big stores were there, and like I remember there was a time where like you couldn't get any of this stuff online. Like there was a time where like Supreme was only like online for the US, and if you wanted it in the UK, you had to go all the way down to London to go and get it. So like I remember like, because my dad lives in London, I'd like phone him and I'd be like, yo, can you go and like get me some stuff from like the Supreme store? And like he'd go in and he wouldn't get me like anything that was like major. He'd get me like a beanie hat and like a pen. And like you get like some box logo stickers, and like that was like how I first like got into like buying Supreme, I guess. And then ever since then, I've just like, I think once I got a job, it was kind of lethal for me because like I had my own money to be able to like spend it on.
Doesn't matter what you say, parents can't say nothing now. It's me, I'm doing this.
They couldn't really tell me what to spend it on, and I'd just be like buying stuff all the time. So, but yeah, it's been, the scene over there is like, it's different. It's different, it's cool, and it's really inspiring.
Do you think that maybe, do they invest more in the artist there in terms of being creative than, as opposed to sometimes I've found in places in the UK, it's a bit more structured. So to get the best of your creativity, I feel like you've got to go through, it's almost like a regimental stage, and sometimes you need a bit of spontaneity, you need to just go with it to get the best. Can it be?
I'm not too sure, you know. I feel like the support that I've had over here and over there has been equally as amazing, I think.
Yeah.
Like the amount of time that AV and Dylan have like spent with me, it's been like ridiculous. Like I've learned so much from the both of them, and then like the amount of time that like T, Sam, all these guys over here have spent with me, I've learned so much. So I think, yeah, I'd say it all kind of depends where you put all your energy, I think.
Yeah. I want to tell me just briefly, where did that come from? So like the whole name?
I come from like the suburbs, so like that's where the sub comes from. It's short for suburban, and then the blue is like blues music. So it's like I'm writing songs about like teenage angst and like just heartbreak and those kinds of things. So that's where like the blue comes from. Like I'm feeling like
that's it. Yeah, man. I like that. I always wanted to ask you that.
Yeah.
And I always, you know, when you say, I didn't realise how early you were on the scene. Yeah, you know, in terms of making music.
Yeah. Like I started my first EP when I was like 12, and then we didn't put it out until I was like 15, and I was just about finishing school.
So what was it like in school then for you? someone who's making music? Because I'm not an angel, but I was not saying you were if you got picked on or anything, but was there sometimes kids can be nasty, can't they? You know when you're doing something that's not the same.
When I was in school, like all my friends and stuff, they were like super supportive of like all the things that like I was doing musically, and especially the teachers. Like they gave me like a lot of opportunities to kind of like play shows and talent shows and all those kinds of things. So it was like, I didn't really have like a tough time growing up in school. It was kind of strange. It was kind of strange, like from primary school, because I was like, and high school, I guess, because I was like one of the few black kids like in my school. So like a lot of the kids were like really into like indie music. So I remember like when I was in primary school, my parents took me to Houston because my uncle lived there, and I remember it was around the time that Drake's So Far Gone album had just come out. So that was like all over the radio, but like no one in the UK really kind of knew about Drake. So this, I think,
like early days.
It was like early days, and I remember coming back. It was when I was in year 6, going into like year 7 of high school, and I remember saying to like all the kids, like, you guys need to listen to this guy's name's Drake. Like he's got this album, and like no one listened to me. So I was kind of like just still bumping this album, just really enjoying it. And then like 2-3 years later, like Drake's like one of the biggest like people like in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's just like I guess that was kind of tough, because I always had like a different taste in music to everyone else. But I guess that helped me. It helped me because a lot of the things that I would listen to kind of like fit in and be friends with people infused what I'm making.
That's also, did you ever feel like you would have to conflict your style a little bit to be able to fit in more? Did that ever come across, did that ever enter your mind at all?
I mean, I think, no, I don't think so. I've always just kind of like made what I wanted to kind of make.
Yeah, you never felt like you were under pressure, but things might not be going your way, and you're like, maybe I might have to change. Because it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I've been quite fortunate in terms of the support that I've received. So it's like I've never like had to like compromise what I wanted to make.
What was the first gig that you ever went to? I've got a feeling you've seen a few, so yeah.
First show that I think it might have been Shaggy.
Really?
I think so. When I was it was Shaggy, and I think I fell asleep halfway through. But not because like I was bored. I think I was just like super tired. I was a kid. I was a kid, so I was super tired. I think that was like.
It's not bad. I'm trying to think. I think mine was. Oh no. You know what? Might have been the Kooks. First proper one I can think of.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Because I wasn't really going to the bands and all that. Mine was like, no. Too young. Yeah. My parents weren't that cool. You know, like.
I'm trying to think like the best person I've probably seen. Probably have been. I seen Prince a few years ago.
Right. I'm not saying nothing now, man, because you've just blown it out the water.
Yeah, I seen Prince a few years ago. My dad. It was super strange. I remember it was a time he was doing like that On the Run tour.
Oh, so he was playing certain shows in the UK, wasn't he?
He was playing like certain shows, and I remember he was playing Manchester Academy, and I remember phoning my dad. I was like, I want to go, but like it was a thing of like you had to go and like wait out and get tickets. So like we didn't get tickets, and then I remember he was playing the Manchester Arena. He was playing the MEN, and I remember being sat at home just like sad because like I wasn't going. And my dad phones me and he was like, yo, get dressed. And I was like, why? And he was like, get dressed. Like we've got tickets to go see Prince. Like, so work. He'd got a corporate box through work. So we went and watched Prince in a corporate box. And I was it wasn't even just like we're like in these nosebleed seats like at the back of the arena. It's like we're right here in this
view.
Corporate box.
You don't need
like
to do that. You know, squinting. You're like you can see him perfectly clear.
Personal bathroom, like a guy like pouring drinks, like a full bar.
If you're gonna watch Prince, you got to do it in style.
It was some like next level stuff. That was probably like one of the most memorable gigs I think that I've been to.
I don't even know how to. I can't even beat that. There's no way. Prince is just like.
I have seen like a fair few people. Like I remember seeing The Weeknd for the first time on the Kissland tour in, I think it was the Manchester Academy.
God, so let's have a thing now. Would it be like 2014?
2014.
So, something like that.
2014. So I think like I just left high school. I remember he had Banks as his support act, and like no one knew who she was.
People are still sleeping on her now.
No one knew who she was. Everyone was just like, and I think I remember she said that it was her first show, like on a tour, like it was her first show, and like she absolutely smashed it.
Mate, that's just...
And then I remember a year after that, I seen The Weeknd again, supporting Drake in the MEN Arena, and that was just like, I was just like,
one of them out of body things.
I was just like, so yeah. And then like a whole year after that, I know it might have been 2 years after that, I remember seeing The Weeknd on the Starboy tour.
Yeah.
And that was just like, it was ridiculous to see him go from like someone who's kind of like quite shy to being like this.
Yeah, like a showman now, isn't he? Yeah. So I remember listening to his first EP, because remember when he used to just do tracks?
Yeah.
Like back in the day when people used to just drop a track and you'd be like, who's this guy?
Yeah, so like
a few months later, you get another one.
I remember like the first time like I found out about like Frank Ocean and The Weeknd was like, I was really big into Tumblr. So like that was how like they used to put their music out, was like through Tumblr. It's like the only way that you could kind of like find out about these people was through Tumblr, and like no one really kind of knew what they looked like or knew who they were. It was just a voice. So it was just like it was super interesting to kind of like to grow up like with that as like a thing, because now it's just like artwork and you can find anything about anyone on the internet.
Do you think that's a little bit sad now? The way there's no more the mystique behind an artist. It's a little bit. It's a little bit faded away now, because now you can just find out everything you
about
need about
anyone, and I think that like the likes of like social media just kind of like takes it away.
Yeah.
And I guess like
it is a good thing. I look at it as a tool.
It's a good thing. It's a really good thing, and I'm really blessed to have like the access to all these kinds of things.
Yeah. I see your fans are very interactive.
People. Yeah. But like I just think like our generation are just so terrible with phones that like we can't go like 5 minutes without picking it up and like sending a text or taking a photo. Cause it's like the reason why I wrote Take a Picture was because we can go to like a gig and like the whole room, it'll just be people with like the phone out to just like waiting to record something, because it's like if you didn't take a photo or a video, then it's like it didn't happen. Like people don't believe you that you never went. But like I'm very much a part of it. So but it's just sad, isn't it? It's just like,
you know what, man? You just gave me. I was in Australia and I watched Common. I got to go and see Talib Kweli.
Oh, sick.
And Common. And I always remember this girl was videoing Common, and Common asked her really politely. He just said, "Excuse me, would you mind just everyone just putting the phones away for 3 minutes while I sing this song?" Because the message that he was trying to get, he was talking about like diversity and segregation, and it was a song what you really had to pay attention to. And you know what, it took my heart off to him. I was like, you know what, I'm made up that he's done that, because sometimes you can hear the most beautiful song, but you watch it through your phone, you don't really hear the lyrics. Nothing registers. You're just like that. So sometimes I think we can get a little bit too lost in the phone, but not live in the moment. And it's nice to just rein it back and just be a bit like, okay,
like
just enjoy it.
Yeah,
you can just enjoy it, you know.
Because the other week, because I've been attending LIPA for like 2 years, so like I had the opportunity to go and attend like a Q&A with Paul McCartney.
You're gonna say that?
Paul McCartney. So like we were all in the auditorium, and it was just nice. No phones, no pictures, nothing allowed. Everyone was just like kind of listening to what he had to say, and then he just disappears and comes back. The curtain lifts, and Paul McCartney played like a 40-minute acoustic set for everyone in the room, and it was just so nice to kind of like not watch it through my phone and just actually like enjoy it and just be able to experience it, because it's like you're watching a living Beatle, like a living legend perform, so it's like you want to be able to like remember that. You don't
in that environment as well, where it's away from everything, and it really is. When people talk about a concert and you go, right, you're there, you're not worried about anything else, you're not worried how much battery's on your phone, you're just there in the moment. Exactly. It must be that's something that you'll never forget, that.
And it was amazing. It was really,
did you get to ask him a question?
I didn't know. I was too scared and didn't know what to say. A few other people did. But yeah, he's a funny character. He's a funny guy.
Do you ever take anything from people like that when you're in an environment like that? You're with someone that you're so, like you talk about legendary status, but so many people look up to him and the music that he will forever leave behind.
I I definitely leave inspired and think how can I better myself as an artist, and look at everything they've done to kind of see where I can go with what I'm doing and how that can kind of like influence me. Coffee shops like these places, the coffee's really strong compared to like Starbucks.
See, I'm not a coffee man either, you know.
I wish I. It was only after I came back from America, like when I was in America, that I got addicted to coffee.
I was going to say you're addicted now.
I was like, can't stay awake. Because like you're doing sessions from like 11 in the morning to like 3 a.m.
You're messing me. So I'm drinking, but thank you. Nice one, Ty.
Oh, good.
You're locked in the studio then? You know when you're.
Nah, so it's not like locked like a prison. So it's like, I mean, you go go in, you get picked up at like 11, and then we drive over to the studio. I think we were in like North Hollywood. Go to the studio. Yeah, and just.
Are you someone who's buzzing? Are you like buzzing to get in the studio?
Yeah,
when you're working with people like you just mentioned.
I was like overly excited. So like, I remember last year I was just, because it was like the first time like I've been to LA. I was just super buzzing. I remember being like on the flight and just chewing my manager's ear off. I was just like, it was I think it was like a 12, 13 hour flight, and I just couldn't stop speaking. He was like, Tyler, just watch a movie. And I remember he told me to watch this movie, I think it was like Collateral Beauty, and like he'd already seen it and I'm watching it, but because he'd already seen it, I'm like taking my headphones out and I'm like, is this really happening? Like, is he really doing this? And I was just trying to like get to sleep and just ignore me, but it's just, I think I was just so buzzing. And then I was just constantly asking questions like about like what it was like to work with like Frank Ocean, The Weeknd, and like, I think I was just so excited.
When you're with people like that, I always feel that you become a student.
Yeah.
You know, if you're around someone who inspires you, you can't help but asking them questions, and you try and pick up the way they do things, because obviously they're doing something right to get to where they are today.
Like I definitely felt like a student, but I think over the since the first time I met the guys, well, we've become like family now. Yeah. It's like a few months ago they were over in the UK, and they came through to a show, and it was just like, even though you haven't seen them for like a few months, it's like you guys never left. So it's like it's really nice.
It's a nice feeling to have that.
They're like brothers to me, like older brothers. I've learned so much from them. So I'm thankful for the relationship with them. Yeah.
So what's it like now for you, this EP?
I think. I'm just trying to continue to write songs about the things that happen to me and the people around me. I want to show people that like being a suburban kid, it might look quite glamorous, but we still go through like the same problems that every normal kid goes through. And like even if you're not a suburban kid, you should be able to kind of relate to what I'm singing about in my songs and what I'm writing about.
Just being real, man.
Just telling stories. I think there's definitely going to be one story that someone should be able to relate to on the first project, Suburban View, and on the next project, most definitely. So
I feel like you've come so far, and it's mad when you look at someone now and you're like, but you forget how much that you've covered already, just to get to this point.
It's been like a long journey, but I don't think I'd change it. I don't think I'd change a single thing. It's been like the most enjoyable journey that I've been on so far, and I'm excited for it to continue.
I know you've got more coming up, man, so I don't know if it's even, is this like hush hush? You know, say?
I mean, there's another project coming.
Okay.
I just can't say when.
There's Yao on your case, like, man, don't let anything slip.
Nah, he hasn't even said anything, not to say anything, but I think I just want to keep people on their toes and
man, I like that.
For what's to come, because I know that I'm like, when we were in America, making the majority of the songs, I think we're taking 3 of the records from there. I was just so buzzing on the flight home, just listening to them. That I'm hoping that the response when people listen to it is the exact same response I had.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Putting my headphones in, listening.
I really am.
So,
I'm excited.
It's coming.
I'll just ask you one last thing, man. What would you say has been the biggest lesson that you've learned so far from when you first started to where you are now in terms of making music? And
it would probably be that you constantly just have to keep working on your craft. I don't think there's any time for excuses of saying oh, I'm not inspired. I say that I'm not inspired, but I think it's just down to laziness sometimes. And I definitely just think you just need to constantly keep working and just coming up with ideas to keep your mind active, because that's the only way that you're gonna improve. I think I didn't write my first song until 2000, properly my first proper song until 2015, and that was I've been doing music and I'd written little bits, but I'd never written a proper song that I could sit there and go, yo, I'm happy with that. I'll fully put that out and I'll stand by it. Fully written by me.
Yeah.
Because on the first project 24/7 that I did, the songs that were written, me and my dad wrote together. So it was I was very pleased with the project and able to stand by it, but I hadn't written something fully myself to be able to go that's me.
Your dad must be proud when he sees that now.
Yeah.
Must be
yeah.
Because for someone who makes music, what's the best gift than your son making music?
Yeah. So I definitely think that my advice would be to just keep working and don't stop. Yeah. Even if people are saying that you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, just keep on your grind and just pushing.
That's it, man. Keep hustling.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there one day, aren't we?
Exactly.
Man, where can I see you next? What's coming up now?
I next have a show August 15th on the Shankly rooftop. I think the tickets are free.
That's it.
If anyone wants guest list, just holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be doing that. I'm not gonna lie.
And I'll put you on. But that should be sick.
Yeah,
should be good. I think. It should be good.
Have you got any London shows coming up as well?
Friday, I'm playing Camden Assembly.
Okay.
So that should be.
You played in Camden?
I played in Camden before, but it was Proud Camden.
Oh,
so this time I'm playing Camden Assembly.
What's the reception like in London?
London's cool.
Yeah.
London's cool. Yeah. I played in London a fair few times. Did a little tour last year and played in London and went down really, really well. So hopefully it's busy and they like new stuff. So yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for you, man.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you know what? Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, man.
That's right, bro. Appreciate your time.
Time flies when you're too drunk and you're too high. Don't know how we got here, oh my. Huge line, excuse me, I'm trying to get by. let me get by. So many pretty girls around me, they got drinks and a sip. They got cocaine on their noses and fake smiles on their lips. I hate the way I love it, superficial as shit.